Hey there, everybody. Andrew Swift from American Musical Supply. I'm here with Mark Seal from Taylor, and he's going to be running us through the 2016 product offerings. What's new in Taylor?
A lot of things. First off, we have a lot of 12-string offerings this year to really complete the line because we have 12 strings across all of our body shapes now.
Oh, okay.
We're also getting more into the 12 frets, and we'll talk about those in a minute. Our 300 series, we've added Blackwood to the line there, and we can talk about that as well.
Okay.
But our 500 series also has been really great this year as we've revamped it, similar to how we've revamped the 600 and 800 series the last couple of years.
Right.
So just a lot of new offerings from Taylor this year.
Cool. So tell me a little bit more about the 12-string.
The 12 strings, well, last year we had a lot of success with the 150E. Taking it out on the road, we were finding we were selling them virtually every night doing road shows. And I think that spawned a little bit of a resurgence. I know Andy was really kind of into making a new 12 string that could be maybe more accessible to anybody. And so he started with the 562 over here. We came in with a 12 string that is actually in our smallest body shape in a grand concert, which is kind of unheard of. It's almost counterintuitive. It's a 12 fret, so it's a shorter scale length, feeds into the body and the lower bout a little bit more. And because it's smaller, it's much more comfortable to play.
Okay.
And one of the things about Taylor guitars, we have a long history of 12 strings. You know, some of the first offerings Bob and Kurt did were 12 strings. And as a result, people loved ours because of the playability. We all know that Taylors play well, the way the guitars are constructed, neck joints, all those things. But to make one that anybody can play without feeling intimidated and something a little more balanced, a little more small. So we did this grand concert offering. And what's great about it is it sounds incredibly full for a little guitar, but it's very balanced. Great for maybe sitting on a couch and playing and writing, or in a recording studio environment, even in a live situation where maybe you're playing with a lot of other instruments and you don't really want to overly dominate the conversation.
Sure.
So you can hear some of the sounds here. Right? You did what everybody does. Everybody smiles the first time they hear it because they're like, wow, that's not what I was expecting. It's so balanced. But on the other side of the coin, there's still that 12-string player that wants a guitar that is big and boomy and loud and can really kind of dominate, like we talked about. So over in the corner, we have what we call our 858, and that's our Grand Orchestra, which is the largest body shape Taylor makes. It's a little bit deeper, it's a bigger shape. Andy went in and re-braced that to accommodate the 12-string and really spent a lot of time dialing it in so that sonically you have this just cannon of a guitar, but by the same token, you still have that ease of playability that Taylor's known for. So it's really a cool offering. And it's that guy that's real confident that wants to back up vocalists or is, you know, maybe more loud vocal and is into the 12-string thing. The 850E is really, really cool.
Wow, cool. All right. So you mentioned something about 12 fret models?
So 12 frets, yeah, that's what I started with down here. The 12 fret guitars are kind of a blast of the past, but we've made ours a little bit more modern. What I mean by that is the 12 fret is really traditionally from about maybe the 30s and earlier.
Okay.
That was kind of how guitars were built. And when we talk about 12th fret, we're talking about where the neck joins the body of the guitar. And as time went on, it turned into a 14th fret, and it was primarily due to banjo players, I think, wanted that more 14th fret feel where they would connect the guitars. So we've kind of noticed by taking our 12th fret and moving the neck into the body of the guitar, it takes the bridge, moves it down to the lower bows. And what it does for us, it gives us a little more warmth, a little more power, a little more mid-range swagger. You know, we have the top that's a little more tactile because of where it's vibrating. You can feel a little more and a little more articulate. But because it's brought into the guitar, your left hand is much closer to your person.
Okay.
And we have a shorter scale, so it's closer. And on the grand concert here, it's just a little bit thinner. It's a guitar you curl up with and can just make great music with for long periods of time. And it's fantastic in a recording environment, very balanced output, and also in a live situation when you have a lot of other instruments, you'll typically find that this, it cuts in the mix really well, but doesn't kind of saturate the low end at all. So it's very cool.
Cool.
Yeah, in fact, we now are offering 12 frets across the line as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, great. And you said something about the 300 series, is that right?
The 300 series, one of our flagship series, really. I mean, that's a guitar that everybody has their 314. And Andy Powers started building this last year with Blackwood from Tasmania, so Tasmanian Blackwood. And really it's from the koa family of trees. It's an acacia. And what that means is it's got some Kona tonality properties, but it also has a little bit of mahogany sound to it. But the interesting part, I think, is that it has kind of a little bit of sparkle of Indian rosewood. So it's this really versatile, great sounding guitar, very warm and clear, kind of a focus low mids a little bit in there.
Okay.
And the other reason that Andy really loves it, and the reason we at Taylor love it, is because it's ethically sourced. There's a lot of old growth that's being responsibly dealt with. And it finishes really well. As far as when Andy's building, he said it takes the glues well, it takes the finishing well, and when you put the whole thing together and you strum a chord, it's just warm and a little bit of power when you dig in. So it's a great offering for us this year. I think people are going to really fall in love with it.
Oh, cool. Okay. Was there anything else? 500 series?
500 series. Gosh, you're good. Yeah, 500 series. In years past, the last several years, we've revamped the 800 series to a lot of success. We did the 600 series and more recently the 900 series, where Andy's gone in and re-braced each body shape to deal with the woods that we're using on the guitars.
Okay.
So this year the 500 got the love. So mahogany's getting a lot of love this year. And in so doing, each guitar is braced perfectly for that body shape. But on top of that, we've added Lutz spruce to the equation. And what Lutz spruce is, it's relatively new to the guitar building world, but it's a spruce that's a naturally occurring hybrid, meaning a Sitka spruce tree and an Engelmann spruce tree have naturally, out in the wild, made their own hybrid.
Okay.
And it's because the Sitka spruce trees were closer to the ocean where it was wetter and warmer, and the Engelmann spruce were higher and drier. And somewhere in the middle, these trees cross paths, and we started building with that, or I should say Andy started building with it, and loved the sounds. The Lutz spruce, strong like Sitka, but it has a little bit of sparkle like Engelmann.
Okay.
But what I thought was impressive when Andy was talking about it, when you play it, he said it reminded of some of the Adirondack from instruments he's played from the 20s and 30s, some of that real old Adirondack. So it's kind of got a little extra horsepower, and we feature that on our 510, which is somewhere roaming around here, and on our 516 as well.
Okay.
Just fantastic guitars. And in the same series, the 500 on that 510, we also added a short scale length on our 510 Dreadnought. So it's a shorter scale length,
okay.
Still a 14th fret guitar.
Yep.
But we also added a V carve on it, because a lot of people like that carve on the back of the neck here with a slotted peg head. And a little powerhouse also, right? But much easier to play because of the shorter scale length on there, and just a different feel to it. So some really cool offerings. I mean, from 12 strings to 12 frets, 300 series, 500 series. We did a lot this year. It was pretty ambitious, but it seems like it's really working out for us.
Cool, great. Well, I just want to say thanks to Mark for walking us through the 2016 offerings for Taylor. And don't forget, you can check them out and buy them at AmericanMusicalSupply.com.